right next door to Mickey D's on Frank.
And our WIMS out the door forecast, light rain, 8:33, 59 degrees. We are at our high, dipping down to roughly the mid to upper 40s. We could see rain and snow overnight, and as we roll on in through tomorrow, it doesn't matter because by the time you wake up there, Marlon, it's going to be sunny, beautiful, and gorgeous. Woo!
That's what I like to hear.
I am so excited to see you today. How are you today?
I'm doing well. I got here. I didn't have to drive through any snow or ice this time.
The
California kid in me really appreciates that.
And I so love that about you, because you have been on the air the last several times. You and I have chatted on the Star VIP hotline, of course. Marlon Deleon from South Bend Civic Theater in studio today. It is so great. Let's talk a little bit, because you are a West Coast boy.
I am.
But I like that. We've got you on our side now, but talk a little bit about you, because you got a great background.
It's a very unique path. I grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area. I lived out there through high school, and then I joined the Navy right out of high school and got stationed on the East Coast. Spent a couple months out here, actually just outside of Chicago. And then got stationed in South Carolina and Virginia when I was on my submarine for a few years. So
Beautiful.
I've seen both coasts, but that's where I really met all four seasons.
Nice.
I didn't get them growing up in California, so when I saw fall in Virginia, that's when I really
did one of those. You were breathe in, breathe out. I love it.
Yes. When I tell people I moved out here for the weather, I actually kind of did. So it's
That's the real deal.
The weather and the cost of living, really. Couldn't beat it from California.
Well, I have to tell you, thank you first and foremost for serving into all of our veterans and folks that are out there, all branches. God bless you all. God bless America. Let's talk a little bit about the South Bend Civic, because you guys have got so many things going on. Positive note, this theater is unbelievable, so unbelievable that we have sold out is in the chair.
Right, I get to talk about my first sold out show this weekend. I initially came in to talk about Stop Kiss by Diana Sun, which is our first of our 3 Firehouse series shows. But the run is sold out. Both weekends are sold out. So it's great for those people coming in. Like, it's one of those, hey, maybe if you want to try and get on the waiting list, you can.
Oh, I love that feeling, huh?
Yeah, it's a small cabaret theater. If you haven't been to the Firehouse before, it's a really close, intimate space, which is great. But we have plenty of other things coming up as well. We have a new children's theater series coming up starting April 9th, where they're original plays based on Caldecott Award winning children's books. And one of our staff member / patron volunteers, Jim Gazel, he's a published author, and he gets to adapt these plays with adult actors and perform them for children. So
that is really cool. So that's so family friendly, correct?
Very family friendly. Yeah, they're going to be short, about 50 minutes, maybe an hour, so it's a shorter length, so they can keep the children's attention there for a little bit.
I was just going to say, you've got mine too, even for the big kids.
I'm all about it, yeah.
You know, seriously, because a lot of times folks feel that maybe, and I'm just throwing this out there, the experience could be several hours with an intermission. I dig that under an hour thing, just to get the kids, you know, the knowledge there, the education, and more importantly, let's be honest, culture. You know, you get the young ones culture, and sometimes the parents and the grandparents as well.
Yeah, and even in the fact that we're still incorporating books that are being published.
Like, I love that.
That's I've recently established a connection with the St. Joe County Public Library, like just down the street from us, and just walking in and taking a tour. I actually felt bad because I couldn't remember the last time I was in a library. Everything's on cell phones, everything's on the internet, and just a Google search away. And so the fact that we're now bringing the arts to kids, and we're incorporating what I don't want to say is a dying art form, because there's still books being published out there, but we have these huge books coming in, and we have about 3 or 4 shows set up throughout the year. So that's one of our biggest things coming up. We do have our next open house and set of auditions coming up.
Talk about that open house, if you wouldn't mind, because the open house, I think, is great. We'll jump into the auditions, get those pens ready. Yeah. Let's talk about the open house. That's awesome.
The spring open house, this is our second of our 4 quarterly open houses, and we're doing it Sunday, April 17th, and Monday, April 18th, from 6 to 10 p.m. And it's a great way to come in if you've never been to the South Bend Civic Theater, if you've driven by but you've never actually seen the spaces out there, that you can take a tour, you can meet the board members, you can meet the staff, and learn a little bit more about the theater, especially in the fact that we run on volunteers. Like, we have a very small paid staff. The ushers, the actors, the designers, a lot of the crew members, all the concession folks, they come in because they want to contribute to a communal art form. They want to help out. They want to be a part of the magic, as we like to say. And so people come in after work, whether they're teachers, bankers, lawyers, high school students, athletes, coming in 3 to 5 nights a week and rehearsing for a couple hours, learning these dances, learning these lines, just because they want to contribute to something to the community that other people get to enjoy.
You tie into that too, as you know, and a lot of us that love theater and the arts and music and that whole genre there. The production side of it, the costumes, just the ambience, the just feeling, the great feeling. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
It really is a whole other side of life.
It is. It's such a team environment, which I really appreciate. And that's actually when I was in the Navy. It's one of the reasons I went submarines instead of carriers, because submarines have a smaller crew. So everyone from the commanding officer who's been in for like 30 years to the newest guy that just got out of boot camp, we all know each other. We have to band together for such a collaborative effort. And it's so crazy to be able to take skills and things that I've learned from the military and use them in theater and use them in a town like South Bend and meeting people in Mishawaka and that area, and then getting to talk about it, out here with you, and when I talk to Mary and all these folks out there and, listening to WIMS, but that's fantastic that I get to just really just cheer and celebrate the fact that we have the arts in our community, which sometimes people forget that we have those, whether it's the Morris or the South Bend Symphony Orchestra, South Bend Civic Theater, Acting Ensemble, all of these groups that are out there, that we're there, and we do it because we love it, we do it for fun, we do it because it's part of our communal culture in South Bend.
I'm glad you brought that up about your military background and how you've utilized your art and your craft to now bring it present day for yourself to be a leading person at the theater there. And I want the young folks out there, anybody that's kind of thinking in their life right now, maybe it's time to make a change, or you're at that point where you're like, something has just transpired. And I always use that phrase, God rest my father's soul. I used to say this all the time. When one door closes, another one opens kind of attitude.
Oh, yeah.
In your case, as you move up the ladder, for your young ones out there, grasp what was just said by Marlon, because I really think that is key to success, and quite honestly, first and foremost, enjoying life.
Definitely.
Doing what you want to do. I always say to everybody, it doesn't matter how far I drive every day between 2 radio stations. It doesn't matter that I work 7 days a week. It doesn't matter. I love being a father. I love my family. I love God. But I love what I do for a living. I wake up and I say, it's not work, it's fun.
Right.
And it's crazy.
That.
It doesn't matter about the 17 to 20 hour days, right?
Sometimes I don't even care that I am there, because I get to talk about the theater with all these people, and I get to meet the parents, the families, the kids that are doing their first show ever. They're like 6 years old. And I was like, there's all these resources, and I'm thinking like, man, if I eventually get to have children one day, that's like, I want this to be a part of their life.
You know what, and that segues perfectly into auditions, trying out for the first time, trying something different. Let's talk about the upcoming auditions and for what, and what your expectations are there at the theater.
Definitely, yeah. The auditions are happening at the same time as the open house. So again, April 17th and 18th, if that's Sunday, Monday, from 6 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time out there at the Civic Theater. And we're auditioning for 4 different shows. There's 3 plays and 1 musical. So there's The Games Afoot, which is a Sherlock Holmes nice little mystery fun time.
Awesome.
There's The Cripple of Inishmore, written by Martin McDonough, who also wrote The Lieutenant of Inishmore, huge play, out on Broadway, also big productions in LA that Chris Pine was in. There was a production of Ram, Tool, and Die, which is a play by Mark Roberts, who's one of the writers for 2.5 Men, who currently has a play performing in Chicago right now called New Country at the Den Theater. And the big musical of the year is Mary Poppins.
Wow.
So you may have heard of that one. There's
that
a few
is incredible.
going around, and that one's going to be really cool, because it's not only is the big musical of the summer, it's going to be performed at St. Patrick's Park at out in the St. Joe County Parkground at the I can't blank on the name, the Fish Grand Amphitheater. That's what it is, the St. Patrick's
Very
Park.
cool.
That's an outdoor venue, sitting on the lawn, and then at the end of July, bring the blankets out, bring the lawn chairs, bring the kids. And that's going to be all the good times with the families. And we're looking for a few kids for that show, which, hopefully you've seen Miss Mary Poppins. If you haven't, check out the movies. There's a lot of other companies actually doing Mary Poppins right now.
Now, what would you say for those folks that are, for the first time doing auditions, what would you say they would need? And by the way, for any of you listening out there that may want to audition, what would you say? The resume, the looking good, what would you throw out there?
It's actually, I just held a workshop about this a couple of weeks ago, and the full details for the auditions, what type of character breakdowns, what the schedules are going to be, will be on the website, sbct.org, so that's southbendcivictheater.org. But I tell all actors, if you're thinking about auditioning, just go audition. What's the worst that could happen? You don't get a part. Don't decide for yourself early that part's not right for me. Oh, I don't know if I could do that. Don't make that decision, because that decision's up to the director. So go in, show them your best you. Don't try to be anybody else. Show them who you are and show them what you can bring to the play and to the stage, because that's the best part about theater, is that we're not looking for a very specific, only one actor all the time. We want to see what you as a person bring in. That, why do I want to work with you? You seem like you'd be really interesting. You bring a new level of fun that would make our production of this show so much more different than everyone. So if you're thinking about it, you probably should. You know, more details for like age breakdowns or like dance ability or singing. We're actually holding a musical theater audition workshop on April 2nd. So before the auditions, the director of Mary Poppins, Mark Abram Copenhaver, our artistic director, and Roy Bronkema, the musical director for the show, they'll be holding an audition workshop for people who are unsure about how to audition for a musical.
That is cool.
Yeah.
I'm really digging that, because that can really help someone in a forward movement, you know, kind of emotion there. Hey, I'm looking for this. You need to tweak this. It's kind of like being on The Voice,
Right.
where they're saying,
we need coaching.
Yes,
Yeah.
woo!
That's all it's about.
Now, do you guys still have room for the spring break performance camp?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about that, if you wouldn't mind?
Definitely, yeah. That's happening during the week of April 4th through 8th. There are 2 different camps happening. There's Project 5X and 5X Junior, and they're broken up by grade. So 5X Junior, I believe that's the morning session, and it's for 1st through, I want to say, 5th grade, and the afternoon session for 5X is 5th through 8th grade and above. And they're both performance camp. You work with one of our teaching staff, Joshua Naperkowski, who just directed Disney's Aladdin Jr. At the theater, and you get to create an original play based on who is performing in the camp. And the younger camp, 5X Junior, it's going to be centered around the story Where the Wild Things Are. So it's a very fun family favorite, especially like it's a book that's been around for a long time that just got turned into a movie a couple of years ago. So the students that get to participate in that program, let's bring all their friends, tell your friends about the camp as well, and for a week you get to have a lot of fun with some new friends, you get to create some new art, and you get to learn a little bit more about the South Bend Civic Theater as well.
How could folks connect with you guys? Can you throw out a phone number? Because I know there's the box office and there's the multiple theaters, and you guys have got, you know, a lot of things, especially online, which I love. Can you throw out the phone number, please?
Definitely, yeah. The box office phone number for us is 574-234-1112. You can also find us on Facebook at South Bend Civic Theater and on Twitter at SB Civic. That's SBCIVIC. And then also, if you'd like to email me as well, my name is Marlon, like Marlon Brando, without the Brando. So it's MARLON at sbct.org. I'll be happy to field the questions and send you to the right people that you need to. And you can even send us a message on the Facebook page. So I'm pretty much on Facebook a lot anyway.
Yeah,
so if you do send us a
young
message
guys.
on the page, you know, like, I'm on there anyway.
I think we all are. It's such a great tool. We utilize it, as you know,
Definitely.
Facebook, Twitter, and our social media tools. But it's so great to have you. It seems like you guys, you know, you, Chuck, everybody, it seems like you have such a great team of people. Everybody is happy. There's no tude there. It's just everybody loves the craft, the art, the theater. You guys are just all great to work with, straight out.
It's a great bunch. And if you'd have told me a couple of years ago that I was going to leave Southern California and my theater career would grow in South Bend, Indiana, of all places, I probably would have laughed at you. But here I am, getting to work at the South Bend Civic Theater and do theater every day.
That's awesome.
Work in the theater and meet all these families that just want to contribute to the art and have the arts in their lives. So it's fantastic.
So I'm so glad after this time that you've now been with these wonderful folks that you've made it over to WIMS. So now you know where we're at, you know the crazy ride, but feel free if you want to jump in at any point and come back over, let us know. And you know, as you're seeing the crazy things happen on the roadway, I mentioned this to all of our great partners, you can be the mobile unit, you know, the SBCT mobile unit. Marlon, woo!
Come in, I'm the street team, I'll just paint the side of the car.
The street team, I love it. Woo!
It reminds me of when I did a radio show in college.
Oh, we always have room for more great folks here. You know that.
That's good times. I'm definitely going to have
between WIMS and WHFB. Come on, we can do something cool.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. Safe travel. Tell everybody we said hello. And again, for more information, throw out that website and phone number again, please.
Yep, that'll be sbct.org. That's South Bend Civic Theater. sbct.org. And the box office phone number is 574-234-1112.
Awesome. Great to see you as always. AM 1420 WIMS, Talk of the South Shore, streaming live at WIMSradio.com. Mary Anthony, Ric Federighi, Younger Life Live radio TV feed coming up 9:06 this morning.